What is going on, everybody? David here from Bluckers Videos and Toys, and today we are going to be taking a look at the Jurassic World Dominion Wave 3 Ferocious Pack, Morris Intrepidus, Velociraptor, and Ionosaurus. Now, we have two repaints in the Morris and Raptor, and then the Ionosaurus is the brand new species to this wave, or to this line. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and take a closer look at these. And as you know, that this is a regular Ferocious Pack style packaging for the Dominion line. And on the back of the packaging, so they're all pretty much the same. And then we have the cross-sell of all the figures that are in this wave. I didn't pick up this one, the Atrociraptor, because I already have that in a set. I think it's the Owen Escape set that has that Atrociraptor in it. So we're going to be looking at that in a separate video. But anyways, let's go ahead and take all these dinosaurs out of its packaging and take a closer look at them. Alright, so we got all three of them out of its packaging. So we're going to be looking at these individually. But before we do, and before I forget, I'll go ahead and show you all these scan codes so that way y'all can grab them and add them to your all's collection. There's the Morris. Here is the Raptor. And here is the Ionosaurus. So I hope that helps y'all complete y'all's collection if y'all don't have these in it. So anyways, let's go ahead and look at these one by one. Alright, first up is the Morris Intrepidus. Now, I got this one because I really do like this paint scheme over the original one. I don't know what the original one was supposed to be, but it looked like somebody was a Miami Dolphins fan and decided to paint up the Morris Intrepidus in Miami Dolphin colors. But we'll take a look at that here when we do our comparisons here in a little bit. But anyways, I don't know if this is actually what the Morris is supposed to look like, but from what I've seen, pictures and in the movie Dominion, it didn't have any of these, you know, none of these feathered, or is that supposed to be feathers? But yeah, it didn't have any of that. So this is a relative of the Tyrannosaurid family, and this is probably the smallest of the species. It's like probably no bigger than a cat, maybe a little bit bigger than that, but it's very, very small. But overall, if I didn't know if this was a Morris and this was a different species, I mean, I would have thought, I wouldn't think nothing of it. But the sculpt itself, if it's just a regular dinosaur, from if I was just looking at it without knowing what it is, I thought it was a really good sculpt. But overall, the sculpt is amazing, as usual. I know I say that in all my videos, and I will continue to say them all in all my videos. But, I mean, you got to look at the texturing and everything. It's like I said, they always do well in their sculpts and everything when it comes to like the texturing of what a dinosaur should look like. You know, the muscle structure and everything, and how it's supposed to represent it. But it's not often that you get a really good paint scheme here as of late in their lines. This is probably one of the better paint schemes that they've done. And I do like the plastic they used for this, and I like the fact that they have the red around the eyes and then a little bit here on the back. And what's even more impressive is that it's on the tail, if not majority of the tail, all right down there and a little bit here. And then you got the little bit of trying to think, white white spray a little bit right here. Airbrushing, that's what I'm looking for, the word. The white airbrushing right here, white paint right there, and then right there Of course, you know this jaw's a separate piece. So, and then you got the white airbrushing right there along the feather. I'm guessing that's what it is, feathering. So, it's very cool. And the eyes here, the eye placement is really good too. A lot of these smaller basic dinosaur figures, you know, the eye placements are always pretty bad for the most part. The teeth look good. And then the gums. Got that wet texturing look to it. They do well on that area too as well. So as far as the articulation goes, the tail is 360. And my it's a little stiff. But then the hind legs go forwards and backwards. So like I said, mine's a little stiff. And then the arms go forwards and backwards. And then the head and neck is on a ball and hinge. So you can look up right there. You can look all the way down right there. And then it just rotates side to side. Like that. Or you can rotate it all the way 360. And then you got a hinge at the jaw. It goes all the way that far. So it looks like the lower jaw on mine is a little loose because when you close it, it's not all the way flush and it just pops back down like that. So, but overall, as for a figure goes, it's a really good figure, especially with the paint scheme. But if it comes to scientific accuracy to what a Morris Intrepidus is, no. Not even close, I don't think. But what we're about to do is we're going to comparisons. And here we go. And there is the original right there. So you could tell it's got that Miami Dolphins colored look right there. So I would prefer this one over it. But on mine right here, on this one, the jaw is a little bit more flushed and doesn't pop out like the other one does. So there you go. And then for another comparison with another Tyrannosaurid species, here is the Proceratosaurus. And you could tell this Morris is way bigger than what it's supposed to be. Because look how small the Proceratosaurus is compared. And the sad part is this thing actually has an actual tail. This one doesn't. Look how small that tail is compared to this. So imagine if the Proceratosaurus actually had a tail this long on here instead of this little bitty twig that we got. So, and as far as a human size comparison goes, it's way too big. Way too big. So, if you really wanted to be scientifically accurate, the Morris should at least be up to his calf, if not to his knees. Maybe a little bit smaller than that, but it should be at least that tall. It is what it is. Alright, let's go on to the next one. Next up, we're going to be taking a look at the Velociraptor. And I mainly got this because I really like the color scheme of this one. And I love this new sculpt that they are using for their raptors. And vastly improving each year when they do a new line. So I don't mind adding different raptors to my squad, my raptor squad. You know, just as long as it's a different gimmick, you know. And when it comes to basic raptors, it depending on the color scheme and stuff, if I like it enough, I'll pick it up. But I do like this red and colored pattern on the back of it enough to warrant a pickup. But it's just your basic style Raptor, and for the Dominion mold, and the color scheme, it's dipped in this red plastic, no paint on the claws or anything like that. And what's very impressive to me is the fact that even though the head, this and this are two separate pieces along with the neck, it's the fact even though this is a different colored plastic, they actually took the time to really paint this separate piece, and where that hinges, they actually got paint around it. And normally we wouldn't do that I can remember. So it looks like if it's just in sync with everything else. So that's really cool. Kudos to whoever designed the paint scheme and went the extra mile to do all that, and to actually have it all the way over there. It connects to, even though the tail is a separate piece, the color pattern is connected all the way over here. And they actually made an effort to add a little bit more paint on the tail. So that's pretty impressive right there. Very rarely will we ever get that. But I do like the brown patterning that they gave it. It makes it look unique. And of course, they got the white airbrushing right there. But other than that, it's just basically the whole mold is red, and then we just got the little bit of brown paint right there. So, and then the eye placement is pretty good on here. Not too bad. So as far as way of articulation goes, the tail is on the, you can rotate the tail all the way around. And then for the hind legs, forwards and backwards. And then for the arms, forwards and backwards. And then the neck, head and neck is on a ball and hinge. So you look downwards that way, and you look all the way up that way. And then you can just move the head side to side. Or you can do the rotation thing if you want to. And then the jaw is on a hinge and it opens that wide. So overall, this raptor is a pretty good raptor. I recommend it if you wanted to pick it up to add to your herd building. Let's go ahead and scoot him up right here a little bit. And we're going to do a couple of size comparisons. The first up is going to be next to the 1999 Jurassic World Dinosaurs Velociraptor by, I would say Kenner, but it was used by Hasbro. Kenner / Hasbro. But as you can tell on this one, when they made this at the time, when Hasbro / Kenner did this, I say that because the Kenner people that were brought over by Hasbro, they still worked on this line. So you could tell that this was made by that particular staff, because of the way the paint scheme is. They used the same mold that they have been for a while since the Jurassic Park line. And look at the detail, and this was a kid's toy. The quality of it's a lot better back then, and the paint scheme is a lot better as well. Look, they just went the extra mile to go all the way down to the tail compared to this. This is what we get today. This is what we got 20 years ago or so, since Kenner produced the Jurassic Park line. So it's just goes to show you how far it came from 1999 when this came out till 2022 when this came out. Crazy, huh? And for the final comparison is with this guy. This came from a play set, Toys R Us, Animal Planet. I think it's a dinosaur play set. And I got this on clearance. I got it on clearance when Toys R Us was closing. And they were clearing out a lot of their Animal Planet stuff at ridiculously priced. And so I was able to snag a few sets. But yeah, this is a very interesting looking raptor. It's a lot bigger than what we have here. And so with a human comparison, here's Owen. So you can tell that's how big it is compared to all three of them put together. But they're all still playability. You know, they can all go together if you choose to do so. All right, so that is it for that one. And let's go ahead and take a look at the final one of the wave. And finally, we have the brand new species to this wave is a ceratopsian called the Ionosaurus. Now, this is a very, very good looking figure right here. Very different in a way because one, the horn, the original, in reality, the horn's supposed to be curved down, but they decided to make it curve up, sticking out straight like that. And then here on the back, it's got the kind of alligator-esque type skin, or right here. So it's very different. So very different and unique. So, but that's what happens when, in Jurassic World's realm of things, you know, they make things a little different. But overall, I really do like it, though. I'm really happy to have this in the collection. Do love the head sculpt, and it's just pretty much almost 100% accurate, you know, as far as what a Ionosaurus looks like. So, very basic. The only thing that's different is the fact that it's dipped in this colored plastic, and the hind legs are in a different colored plastic as well, and I just went ahead and just painted that, you know, just kind of to match the main body. And you can tell a different coloration, you know. This part, you know, it's supposed to be, but you can tell it's a little bit lighter. This is a little bit darker. And then they have the random yellowy spray right there. But as far as the eye placement goes, looks like right there, it's looking up. And then over there, looks normal right there. So, it happens sometimes. But overall, the sculpt is amazing. I mean, I can't say enough about the sculpt. You can tell, you can get the fat placement right there. You know, it's all kind of wrinkled up a little bit, especially here at the neck. It's all wrinkled right there. You know, it's supposed to be a beefy boy. You know, little fat pigments right there, where it's all kind of wrinkled right there, like it's squished a little bit. So, but yeah, it looks great. So as far as articulation goes, the tail, you can do a 360. And then the legs go forwards and backwards. It's a little stiff right there. Forwards and backwards. And then this one is a little warped right there. You could tell it's a little warped. Just from being the way they have it in the plastic. And then the front legs go forward and backwards. A little bit more better range of motion than the hind legs. And then, of course, the head and neck is on a ball and hinge. So you can look up all the way right there. So it's got a good range of mobility to look up, and then you can look all the way down like that, and then the head can go side to side. Don't know if you can do a 360. Yeah, you can do a 360. So, but yeah, and that's the range of motion of the head right there. I wish they had that little bit of paint right there to the beak. I think that would have kind of stood out a little bit more. But overall, it's a great looking figure. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this guy in position. And we are going to compare it with some more Ceratopsians of its size. So here is the Cosmoceratops. And then we have the Zuniceratops. So these Ceratopsians are all about around the same size range. This one's a little, these are a little bit smaller. I think they should be just a hair bit bigger. But if we bring out Owen again, with the Zuniceratops, that's pretty much accurate right there. But with these two, I think this is a little bit on the small side. So if you wanted to be a little bit more accurate, I think you would want to have it up to here for both the Ionosaurus and the Cosmoceratops. Yeah, but overall, they all look great together. So, all right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and bring out its wave mates and wrap up this video. Overall, I mean, it's a good wave, especially if you're trying to army build or herd build, and of course add a new species. So if you wanted to go with a Morris, I would recommend this one if you can find it over the original release. And as far as the raptor goes, if you're just looking to add more raptors, and if you're into herd building or making a raptor squad, that this is a good one to pick up and add to the collection. And of course, you know, you always have to have new species. So the Ionosaurus would be a good pickup too if you're looking to add or expand your Ceratopsian collection. May not always be screen accurate, you know, as far as the way you probably would want it, but it's on the cheap side, and it's a Ionosaurus, so why not? So that being said, let me know in the comments below what you think of this wave right here. Which one is your favorite of the three? And don't forget, where's the wisdom? Buy what you love and not what you like, because if you buy what you like, you always end up getting rid of it. And I will catch y'all later.